This video outlines the role of a facilitator or named lead school. This is the person or people who'll deliver the workshops. And if taking on a complete workshop programme, those who coordinate the training, support participants, and are the go-to on all things excellence for everyone within the hub or groups of schools. A great Excellence for Everyone programme is one that's well facilitated, well led and well communicated. There needs to be at least one named facilitator who'll deliver that training to staff. The responsibility to set up a programme and provide a facilitator could sit with one school who become the lead school for the programme. That school may be a strong school within the hub, with capacity to take on the responsibility and have a good track record of supporting disadvantaged pupils. It's the lead school or facilitators who will really get to grips with a package of resources listed on this website and watch and no doubt re-watch these videos to guide them through the process. But remember, this is a collaborative effort, and just because one school may lead the training doesn't mean their own school can't also participate. It also doesn't mean that they know all the answers. The programme is about coming together as a group of schools to collaborate, share, question and co-create answers.
It's really important that we come together with a shared accountability for all pupils within our communities and not just those that attend our own individual institutions. What we see in areas across the country that have been really successful in addressing educational disadvantage, it's where we feel accountable for all pupils within that community, not just those that are attending our own individual schools. Always go back to Baroness Morris, Estelle Morris's great comment around, if we're really about to tackle this issue together through collaboration, would you be prepared to send your most expert, knowledgeable practitioner around a particular issue to the school down the road who is struggling to address it? And I think what comes together in this programme is the sense that we're working together to solve a challenge, a greatest challenge with our education system, but we're working together to solve it. And we're sharing learning, that learning process together around what's worked well, but also what hasn't worked so well. It's not just about celebrating the finished article, but being open, honest, around a shared accountability to all pupils around how we address these really complex issues.
So I was fortunate to actually be a teacher myself who was sitting in a workshop hearing these facts for the first time about why it's so important that we remain focused on our disadvantaged students and why we should be thinking differently about what we need to do in our classrooms to ensure that they're making the same progress, if not more, as their counterparts. To then be given the opportunity to act as a facilitator, I felt like there was a huge leap that has been made from somebody watching, thinking, this is so inspiring, this is brilliant, to the person who's going to have to then be inspiring. And to reassure anybody who's thinking, how do I even begin? Every resource is put together from the perspective of what's the most important thing you need to know, and also from the experience of everyone who has facilitated using these resources in the past. This is what works. And so I would also like to reassure you that when I led my first session, whilst I was shaking underneath, it didn't come across on the outside. And by the end of it, I was able to reflect and think how much I really enjoyed the opportunity. When I've had other people join me for opportunities of facilitation in the past, again, when they presented nervous or anxious, I'm not an expert. What if somebody asks me something and I don't know the answer? It's absolutely okay not to have the answers, but the answers will lie somewhere in the room and not necessarily from those people who are facilitating. And I think that's the strength of the programme, that there is learning for every single person inside the room. And there is also a camaraderie that's shared, that everyone is working together for the same purpose.
Leading a programme is a big responsibility. It takes time, planning and organisation. It involves scheduling the calendar of events, inviting attendees, delving into the resources to plan and facilitate workshops. You'll need to ask colleagues to evaluate and feedback on your training, and it involves spending time working with participating schools to guide them through the programme journey. Yet leading a programme is also a great opportunity. It will raise the profile of the facilitators and the school, and it creates a mechanism to work with and collaborate with other schools, as well as providing hands-on training and development for those involved.
My top tips for delivering a program would be to make sure, again, that you are super organised. It is not something that you can kind of read over a couple of days before or a night before. You really have to make sure you know those resources and deliver them well. And also make sure that you have maybe share it. So one of the things is to maybe have one person focus on the project, in-house project, and another member, maybe like myself, do the working on the workshops and that delivery, and that worked really well. Another tip is to make sure that you have enough time for the in-house projects and the sharing of the good practice, because the time goes ever so quickly. But I think one of the values of those days is actually getting together as a team, sitting down and planning these projects, and that's so valuable, and you never get a chance to do that in school. So if you're able to do that, I think give the time as a facilitator.
I found the role of the facilitator so useful. I've gained confidence in delivering training, and I've used a lot of the materials to guide schools that I work with in my other roles, because it's such useful, relevant information I can pass on.
Take a look at the next video to get a better understanding of who participates in a programme.